Hi, this is Ian Smith, and this is Transition Thursdays. It's my weekly podcast or video of lots of things to do with business transitions, corporate finance type related issues that affect business owners in today's economy. So if you're new, connect with me on Facebook or LinkedIn, send me a comment, send me an email if you want. Love to hear from you, hear your thoughts on this video or any thoughts that you have on transition related topics. So today I want to talk about something that I think is really important. So it's going to be a little longer, and this is going to be a video I'm hoping to share with anybody that tells me that they expect their transaction or transition of ownership to be easy. So if you think it's easy, if you're a business owner or if you're an advisor, an accountant, an insurance broker, life insurance, estate planner, etc., and you think that the transition of ownership for your clients is going to be easy, I'm telling you, it's rarely, or if it's hardly ever, if ever, as easy as the clients think, as the business owners think. And there's lots of reasons for that. But first of all, I want to tell you, over the last 25 years of helping clients buy and sell businesses, here are some of the main reasons I've been told that business owners think it's going to be easy. Number one, I know the buyer, they know our business, and so this should be pretty simple. I've determined who the best buyer is going to be, and they know my business, so it's going to be easy. Number two, like the example I used, we've already agreed to the terms. How hard could it be? Number three, my business, it's pretty simple. You know, we manufacture something, or we've created some software, or we distribute certain products. It's not that complicated. Number four, we don't have a lot of documentation. We run a pretty clean, simple operation. So how much due diligence could there be if we don't have much to show people? And fifth, I just want to make this simple. I don't want to make this overly complicated. Let's just make it simple and get through it, in 30 days and get to a close. So those are the top five that I hear most regularly. So why isn't this the case? Well, the reason being, and particularly in the businesses that I would work with, they're mid-market, so a little larger than average, but not super large. So these businesses are actually pretty complicated, and they're complicated. It's the complications and the sophistication in the business that makes them valuable. And business owners may not realize the value they've created by their systems and processes and the people in the business. And so they think it's simple because they live and breathe it over the last 10 years, 20 years. So to them, it is simple. But for an outsider, even somebody that's in the same industry, it's going to be a little more complicated. And it's all these nuances that actually help build value. And when we take a business to market and we're looking at the buyer universe and we're thinking about what's going to get people excited, it's those nuances that really make the difference in terms of driving value and finding that perfect buyer for each of our clients. The other thing to keep in mind is businesses are not passive income. They're not like commercial buildings or shopping plazas that have rents that are long-term leases and things like that generate a regular income. They have ups and downs. They have business cycles. They have seasonal cycles. They have cash flow cycles, all sorts of different things that happen in a business. And depending on when in that cycle you're transacting, there's going to be different things happening. And so a buyer needs to know what the whole cycle looks like, not just the time frame that the transaction takes place in. Now, here's a good thing to think about. If you're a business owner, and imagine that you're looking to buy a business just like yours, and it's got all the same sort of people, good quality products, good quality service, all of that good stuff that you would look for in a business. But it's in the next province or next state, or it's in an adjacent area of your industry that is really attractive. So think about how much you would pay for that business. Think about it in terms of a multiple of earnings or a multiple of cash flow. Most of business owners I know, when you ask them that question and they think about it a bit, they'd say, probably 3 times, maybe 4 times cash flow. So that implies a pretty good return, of 25 to 33% per annum if there was an actual cash return on your investment, which of course, if you use EBITDA, that doesn't count, but we won't go there. That's a different topic. But then you ask that same business owner what he thinks his business is worth in the market. And of course, they expect it to be 5, 6, or 7 times, or 8 times, or some, even higher multiple. And when you dig down and understand it, it's because the perception those business owners have of the risk of buying another business is higher than running their own business. And so they're not going to pay the same multiple as they would expect to receive. So you have to put your buyer's hat on when you're thinking about how a buyer is actually looking at your business. They see the risks first and foremost before they see the opportunity. And so they need to analyze the risk, understand the risk, as well as understanding the opportunity. So it does take time to be able to do that. And if you want to give yourself a chance to get the best results possible, it's important to take the time and be prepared for what lies ahead. So the other thing I would say is, buyers have the right to dig in. They're the ones writing a very big check at the end of the day. And it's their money that's at risk. And if it's private equity investors, it's not even their money. It's other people's money that they're responsible for. So they want to make absolutely sure that they get it right. So now, why do these transactions take longer than people expect? I hear it all the time. It's the lawyers. It's got to be the lawyers. That's got to be the case. The lawyers are the ones spending all the time and costing us lots of money to get a deal done. And I'll say that is, in my experience over many, many years and lots of transactions around the world, that is absolutely not the case, provided you have professional M&A counsel. So why does it take longer? So let's think about this. Nowadays, unlike, say, 20, 25 years ago, where you'd have one due diligence team that would come in and look at the business and the financials and the operations all kind of as one, now we see more streams of due diligence. So there's a first stream of due diligence, the first round of due diligence, if you will, is generally mostly financial, a little bit of operational and management due diligence. They want to know, are the numbers kind of where we expect them to be or where we've been told they are? Are the managers as strong as we think they are, or we've been told they are? And with that, we can give you a pretty high-level offer. As we dig in, we're going to dig in more into the financials. So that's one stream. We're going to dig into the operational side, the HR side, the human resource side. We're probably going to do an insurance review. Nowadays, we're seeing a lot more cybersecurity issues or questions. And so we may even have a full team on the buyer's side looking just at the cybersecurity risks. And then if you're manufacturing, you have properties that have had manufacturing facilities on, there's probably an environmental component as well. So that all takes time, and the lawyers haven't even been engaged yet. So once you get through that, or as you finish up in that due diligence, concurrent with the end of the due diligence, that's when the lawyers get involved. And hopefully, if you've had a very detailed offer, or LOI, letter of intent, and hopefully even a term sheet, which even spells out more details that align with that share purchase or asset purchase agreement, the lawyers have a pretty good roadmap of what you want to achieve with this transaction. So there should be fewer surprises when you get that first draft that usually comes from the buyer's side, and your lawyers see it. Hopefully that aligns with what they were expecting. Now, when you have a high-level offer that somebody has signed without any advice, it's pretty light on the details of what are important in the share purchase agreement. Those are things like the reps and warranties, which people get all caught up with, but also more importantly, in my mind, the indemnity provisions, the warranty provisions in terms of what it will cost if there's a breach of those warranties. What about holdbacks and escrows and working capital adjustments, things like that, as layman business owners running your business and doing a great job running your business, you don't think about working capital adjustments. You don't think about holdbacks and indemnities and escrows and things like that. And you shouldn't have to. You should be working on your business and let the professionals work on protecting you on the transaction terms. So when you add all of those different things that have to happen in a mid-market transaction, you're looking at a couple months or more from the time you have an offer till the time you close a transaction and actually have cash, what we would say cash in jeans at the closing date. Our best effort, our best time in getting something from an offer to cash on closing was about 42 days. We've got a couple in the 45-day range, but generally we see kind of in the 60 to 90-day range from the time you've actually had an offer. Now, backing up from there is all the preparation just to get to the offer. And of course, that can take anywhere from 1 month to 3 months, 4 months, sometimes longer if you want to spend time preparing your business, as I've talked about in other videos. So if you think it's going to be easy to sell your business and it's going to close quickly, or your advisors are telling you that, or you are an advisor that has told your client that this should be really easy, take a second look at what's all involved in getting a transaction over the finish line. And I think you'll realize very quickly that even a sale to your management team or a sale to a very close third party is going to take time. So with that, I will leave you for this week. I hope you have a great rest of the week. For my American friends, I hope you have a great holiday and Independence Day tomorrow, as my Canadian friends and colleagues had for Canada Day on Tuesday. And I will see you hopefully next Thursday. I'm on the road next week quite a bit. I will try to post something. I'm in Kelowna for a bunch of time next week on business. I'll try and post something from there. So have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.